President, um, there are requests from some colleagues that we make it nominal voting. Some would like to vote one way or the other, Mr. President. We'll respect that. And I just asked that if there's an explanation, we can do it after the vote, Mr. President. So I move that
You are
yes,
seeking a nominal vote,
for the
and the
resolution
explanation of the votes would be
given after, Mr. President.
after the voting.
Yes, Mr. President. If they want, if they wish to.
Well, what if we would want to explain our vote?
You
before-
may, Mr. President. It's, of course, it was just an appeal, but you may. Usually, by tradition, we do it after, but if you want to do it while you vote, Mr. President, then we will, of course,
Sometimes the
accede
vote
to
that
the
we make,
President.
because sometimes the vote that we make, the explanation is no longer listened to.
Yes, Mr.
You
President.
know,
I understand.
so that might be able to
Yes, Mr. President.
explain to the people, the public, and the colleagues why you are voting for that particular or your choice or decision on this vote.
Yes, Mr. President.
So, is there no period of interpolation? No more in period of amendments?
No more, Mr. President.
So this is the PS Resolution 144,
144, Mr. President.
which you drafted, and
Yes, Mr. President.
different from the other resolution, the original
Yes,
resolution
Mr.
filed.
President. This is for me, this would have been the best compromise, where we're focusing only on the humanitarian issue at hand, Mr. President.
All right.
So move.
So, any objection? Hearing none, the Secretary will conduct a roll call, nominal voting, roll call vote.
Roll call vote. Senator Aquino. Senator Cayetano Alan. Senator Cayetano Pia. Senator De La Rosa. Senator Ejercito. Senator Escudero. Senator Estrada. Senator Gatchalian. Senator Go. Senator Ontiveros.
You're recognized. Senator Ontiveros
Salamat.
recognized.
Salamat po, Mr. President. Mr. President, ginagalang kong mga kasama, with due respect sa mga may akda at taga-suporta ng resolusyong ito, nakatayo po ako dito para ipaliwanag yung aking boto ng no. Una po, sang-ayon ako na ang humanitarian considerations ay essential na bahagi ng hustisya. At tamang dapat makoncern tayo sa general welfare at dignidad ng lahat ng mga Pilipinong nasa ibang bansa, ng lahat ng ating mga nakatatanda, at ng lahat ng mga persons deprived of liberty. Pero Mr. President, hindi tayo nagdi-deal sa sufficient facts. Wala pong indikasyon na ang ICC ay nagpapabaya sa pagbantay sa kalusugan at kagalingan ng mga taong nasa kustodiya nila. May panayam rin po, ilang araw ang nakalilipas, kung saan sinabi ng pamilya ni former President Rodrigo Duterte na he is well, even jolly, at kaya pa ngang makipag-usap tungkol sa maraming topic, kasama ang politika, flood control, at love life. Ang panawagan para ang gobyerno ay mag-advocate para sa interim release o house arrest ni former President Duterte, maaring nakakouch sa humanitarian terms. Pero nagmumukha ring isa pang halimbawa ng ating gobyerno na nagbibigay ng special treatment sa isang makapangyarihang individual. Tila ba'y isa na naman itong patunay na ang batas ay marahas sa karaniwang Pilipino, pero malambot sa iilang may kapangyarihan. Kapag ordinaryong lolo ang inakusahan ng nagnakaw, pwedeng kulong agad at di makapagpiyansa. Pero dito, gobyerno mismo ang lumalaban para bigyan ng house arrest ang isang taong akusado ng mga napakamabigat na krimen. Totoo po na ang International Criminal Court mismo ay nakapag-grant ng interim release sa iilang exceptional circumstances. Pero pantay na importante, ang ICC ay nag-deny ng mga ganitong request kapag ang interes ng hustisya at accountability ay hinihingi ito. Alalahanin po natin na ang mga international courts ay nakapag-deal na sa maraming aging prisoners. Ratko Mladic and Radovan Karadzic, both convicted for genocide and crimes against humanity, continued to serve their sentences well into old age. And in fact, just this year, Mr. Mladic asked to be released on humanitarian grounds, claiming that he only had a few months to live. The court still denied him, ruling that his medical condition did not meet the threshold of an acute terminal illness that would justify release. Their continued detention was not seen as inhumane because their crimes were too grave, too devastating to entire communities. Totoo naman, si dating Presidente Duterte ay hindi convicted. He stands accused pa lamang. Pero kahit sa kaso ng mga accused persons, nagpakita ang ICC ng pag-iingat. Laurent Gbagbo, the former president of Cote d'Ivoire, was denied interim release precisely because the vast network of supporters he commanded, which posed a risk to victims, witnesses, and to the integrity of the proceedings. Eventually, Gbagbo was acquitted. His day in court came, and he walked free, not because of an early release or house arrest, but because of a judgment. Si dating Presidente Duterte din ay pwede pang umasa sa ganoon. But the path there is through trial, not through early release or house arrest. Kung tunay ngang may sakit ang dating Pangulo, hindi ba't ang solusyon ay dalhin sila sa ospital sa The Hague, Netherlands, habang binibigyan ng angkop na tulong at suporta mula sa Philippine Embassy doon? Mga kasama, ang mga atrocities ng tinatawag na war on drugs ay hindi mga guni-guni lamang. Sila ay mga winasak na buhay ng libo-libong mga mahihirap na Pilipino. Sila ay mga hiyaw ng mga nanay at tatay na ang mga anak kailanman ay hindi na umuwi. Sila ay mga walang markang libingan at yung kultura ng impunity na hanggang ngayon nagmumulto sa ating lipunan. Hanggang sa araw na ito, yang mga pamilya ng mga biktima ay nagdedemand pa rin ng hustisya, katotohanan at accountability, habang patuloy din silang natatakot para sa kanilang mga buhay. Samantalang dito po tayo, nagsusulong ng humanitarian considerations para sa individual na mismong akusado ng mga krimen laban sa kanila at laban sa humanity. Noong 2016, sinabi ni Presidente Duterte na wala siyang pakialam sa human rights. At kahit iutos pa ang pagpatay, walang makakaaresto sa kanya. Immune siya dahil matanda na siya pagkatapos ng termino. Sabi niya, wala silang laban. Tama ba si Presidente Duterte? Ang resolusyong ito ang magiging sagot ng Senado sa tanong na iyan. Alang-alang sa pagrespeto sa hustisya, fairness, at alaala nung ang mga buhay nila ay ninakaw at winasak. Ipagpaumanhin niyo po, Mr. President at mga kasama, hindi ko po in good conscience masuportahan ang resolusyong ito. Bumoboto po ako ng no. Salamat po, Mr. President.
Yes, proceed.
Senator Lacson.
Thank you, Mr. President. If only for purely humanitarian consideration and for a fellow Filipino who is incarcerated in a foreign land, hindi na po bale na siya ay tunuring kong kaibigan nung siya ay mayor pa ng Davao City. Hindi na po bale na kami nagkakasagutan madalas nung siya ay naging Pangulo sa mga isyu ng polisiya tungkol sa katiwalian, tungkol sa kanyang pulisya sa paglaban sa droga. Hindi na po bali lahat yun. Sa akin lang po, for a fellow Filipino na nando sa napakalayong lugar at nakakulong, I vote yes or in favor of resolution number 144. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Lapid. Senator Legarda. Senator Marcoleta. Senator Marcos. Senator Padilla.
Ginoong Pangulo, gusto ko lamang pong ipaliwanag ang aking boto kung bakit ako po'y bumoto ng oo, yes. Ako po'y isa sa mga nauna at nananatiling laging nasa The Hague. At marami po tayong nababalitaan doon, galing po sa mga Pilipino na nandun, katulad po ng pagkabagok ng ating Tatay Digong. Ito po'y natagpuan na walang malay sa kanyang Bartolina at siya po ay nadala sa ospital at doon po ay alhamdulillah wala naman pong nakitang damage sa kanya. Pero hanggang kailan po kaya mangyayari yung ganito na wala pong tayong mababalita ang balita na gigimbal sa ating lahat? Nabanggit po kanina yung mga nakulong doon. Pero hindi po nabanggit ang isang namatay doon. Si Slobodan Milosevic ay namatay po daw ng heart attack sa loob ng ICC. Pero pinaniniwalaan po ng kanyang pamilya na siya po ay nabigyan ng maling gamot. Ito pong mga ganap na ganito, uulitin ko po, kailan po kaya tayo matatapos sa usapin ng politika? Kailan po kaya natin ititindig ang ating pagka-Pilipino at ating ipaglalaban ang kababayan natin na nakakulong sa banyagang bansa at nagdurusa at nag-aantay ng paghuhusga ng mga dayuhan? Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat.
Senator Pangilinan.
Ako po ay bumuboto ng no. Pinakinggan ko ang mga sponsorship speeches ng ating mga kasamahan. Tama naman. May basehan para sa humanitarian consideration dahil may edad na. Hinihingi ng isang paraan para ma-house arrest. May basihan po ito base sa mga argumento na nabanggit kanina. Subalit, gaya ng nabanggit kanina ng ating majority leader na si Senator Zubiri, sinabi niya magagalit ang mga biktima ng EJK. Libo-libo ang pinatay. Libo-libo pa ang nawalan ng ama, ng ina, ng anak, na ang hiling ay hustisya. Tama rin na humingi ng hustisya. Saan tayo papanig? Tama, may basehan ang humanitarian konsiderasyon. Ngunit may basehan din yung daing at yung dalamhati at yung masasaktan na libo-libo nating mga kababayan na pinatay. Saan tayo humanitarian consideration o sa mga daing ng hinihiling ang hustisya. Bilang chairman ng Committee on Justice and Human Rights, nais ko mang pumanig sa isang banda. Tungkulin kong pumanig sa mga daing ng naghahanap ng hustisya. I vote no.
Senator Tulfo Erwin.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, and my countrymen, this resolution will further divide our nation. But I rise to explain my vote in favor of a Senate resolution requesting the International Criminal Court to place former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte under house arrest rather than continued detention at the ICC facility in The Hague while awaiting trial for crimes against humanity. Mr. President, my decision is not a judgment on the merits of the case. The charges will be heard and decided by the proper tribunal. Rather, my vote is guided by humanitarian considerations. Former President Duterte is now 80 years old. According to reports, his health is deteriorating. Hindi po ito unang beses sa ating kasaysayan na tayo ay naging mahinahon at makatao sa dati nating mga pangulo. Noong 2001, si dating Pangulong Joseph Estrada ay pinayagang manatili sa house arrest. Ganon din po si dating Pangulong Gloria Macapagal Arroyo na pinayagan sa hospital arrest dahil sa kanyang kalagayan noon. In granting the same to former President Duterte, we are not excusing accountability, Mr. President. As a nation that values compassion and respect for human dignity, kahit pa po sa mga akusado, we must show the world that justice is not driven by vengeance, but by fairness and humanity. Hindi po natin hinihingi ni walang sala siya sa kanyang mga nagawa. Tama po, sa libu-libo nating kababayan. We cannot just close our eyes. What we want, we are simply affirming compassion without abandoning justice, Mr. President. The law must be firm, yes, but it must be also be humane. Maraming salamat po. May God bless our people and our nation. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Tulfo Rafi. Senator Villanueva. Senator Villar Camille. Senator Villar Mark. Senator Zubiri. Senate President Soto III.
Your Honors, I am faced with two equally important issues affecting life and liberty. To afford PRRD with the optimal condition of his detention that will be beneficial for his physical and mental health, while taking into consideration the plight of the families who are seeking justice for the alleged crimes against humanity. I am supportive of any efforts to bring comfort to PRRD and to uplift his well-being during this crucial time. However, my choice or decision in my conscience might even help in further dividing the nation. Therefore, I register an abstention. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Maybe we also recognize Senator Cayetano. We pass.
Senator Cayetano is recognized.
Mr. President, may I ask how my vote was recorded? Sir President, may I record my vote as yes, and may I brief explanation, Mr. President?
Go ahead.
First of all, Mr. President, again, with all due respect din sa mga nagsalita before us who opposed, yung resolution po na ito, kasama lahat ng resolution po na final ng iba't ibang mga miyembro ng Senado, are within the rules of the ICC. Linawin ko po yun kasi parang sinasabi, ito yung mga president, ito yung pwede, ito hindi pwede. Galing nung research nyo, pero ang magde-decide pa rin yan ICC. At ang basehan ng decision nila ay hindi yung presidents ng ibang mga membro kasi iba-iba yung sitwasyon natin sitwasyon ng mga accused. So yung rules. Pangalawa po, lahat ng resolution na final natin kasama kay Majority Leader is consistent with each and every human rights convention that the Philippines signed. So what I want to emphasize, Mr. President, is iba ang vengeance sa justice Ang vengeance is an emotional impulse of someone who is a victim of injustice. In Tagalog, gusto niyang gantihan. Ang justice, hustisya, ay well-defined sa international community, and I know that as a former Secretary of Foreign Affairs. At yan po ay nakatala sa ating konstitusyon, sa international conventions, sa human rights, etc., pati sa ICC. At pag ikaw ay hinuhusgahan pa lang o ikaw ay kinakasuhan pa lang, in fact, na-postpone yung yung confirmation of charges kasi tinitignan pa nga kung maiintindihan ng akusado yung i-accuse sa kanya. So, kasama lahat po dyan sa justice is hindi mo muna gagantihan siya habang siya ay innocent until proven guilty. Tignan niyo halimbawa si dating Senador Leila de Lima. Wag na yung ibang mga senador, di ba? Grabe din po ang akusasyon sa kanya, droga. Pero pumayag po lahat. Pati po ang pinakagalit sa kanya na out of humanitarian, meron siyang detention facility sa Camp Crame, no? At meron siyang cellphone at nakakapag-function pa rin siya dito. So lastly, Mr. President, I will not argue anymore whether the war on drugs was a maniac killing everyone or the war on drugs was precisely to protect the Filipinos, because replay na to Ilang beses na napaliwanag to, the facts, ilang beses na present sa international community at saka dito. Just one point, Mr. President. Nung tinignan natin yung dami na namatay nung Aquino administration, ay sing dami nung namatay nung first 2 years nung Duterte administration. Except that during the Aquino administration, through Senator De Lima, pinalitan nila yung definition ng EJK. EJK, kapag yan ay labor union, yan ay human rights leader na napatay. Pero pag ordinaryong tao na napatay, hindi EJK. Biglang pagdating ni Duterte, lahat ng patay na hindi natural causes, EJK. Pero pag kinumpare mo, there was 13 to 16,000 every year in the Aquino, and even before Aquino. So, again, Mr. President, we're not here to debate that. History will judge.
Precisely.
Our courts here, the DOJ will that. I just have to reply, Mr. President, kasi nga, it was brought up as if yun ang dinidebate natin. Ang dinidebate natin, humanitarian. Humanitarian ay walang pakialam sa feelings ng mga posibleng biktima. Kasi ang hustisya po ay bulag. Ay nakatakip po yung mata para nga walang makita. No? So even if I was a victim of a crime here, no, at masakit na makita akong magpiyansa or may house arrest yung inaakusahan ko. Kung yun ang batas at pwede, hindi po dahilan na si Alan ayaw yun. So I vote yes, Mr. President, and I thank our colleagues for putting this on the floor. Thank you, Mr. President.
If there is no objection, I will allow Senator Raffy Tulfo to vote because we gave the same We gave the same to the minority leader.
Yes, of course.
All right, Senator Rafi Tulfo, you're recognized.
Mr. President, my dear colleagues, if we will use the reason as a humanitarian, that's why we have to put the former President Rodrigo Duterte under house arrest, I will vote yes. But it should be proven na meron po siyang sakit. Kasi yun po yung lumalabas sa balita na may sakit po siya, matanda na siya, hindi siya kumakain, hindi siya nakakatulog. Then if it's true, I'll cast my vote as yes. Pero without proof na yun nga talaga ang totoong pangyari, then I will abstain. Thank you, Mr. President.
Is abstention.
Abstention po ako.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. When we get the result of the vote, Mr. President.
We have 15 affirmative votes, 3 negative votes, and 2 abstention. PSR Resolution 144 is hereby adopted.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, we have another resolution that we would like to take up, equally important, or actually important to all our farmers. Yes, I got the manifestation of Senator Escudero, Mr. President. He asked me to just say that if he was present today, that he would vote in the affirmative, Mr. President. He sent me a note, just for the record. Mr. President, we'd now like to take in consideration Mr. President, I'd like to consider Senate Resolution number 145, Mr. President. So move.
Any objection? Hearing none. Consideration of 145 is in order.
Mr. President, I move that we ask the Secretary to read the title of the measure.
Secretary will read the title of the measure without prejudice to inserting the contents of the resolution.
Resolution expressing the sense of the Senate to urgently request the Executive to reinstate the most favored nation tariff on imported rice from 15% back to 35% to stabilize the domestic market, mitigate rice industry losses, and restore government revenue.